All right, Nick, let's talk about the Oklahoma Sooners. This is a team coming in hot, 2-0 start for the Sooners. They are looking good, but there is still a couple of things that they could tweak to look even better. And the coaching staff has said that specifically for one group in particular, they're looking to get a few more guys involved.
Yeah, Miles, I think it's a really good report that you dug up, highlighting a really smart move by the Oklahoma coaching staff as they're working their way through the non-conference part of the schedule, which leads me directly into my question for you Oklahoma fans to answer, as always, in the comment section below. Look, you've got another non-conference opponent. You got Tulsa coming up this weekend. Give us your prediction for Oklahoma versus Tulsa, final score in the comment section below. You guys have 2-0, obviously, right? Kind of easy non-conference opponents, but still got to win the game. You still got to play the game. So give us your prediction, Oklahoma, Tulsa, in the comment section below. But all right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest out of Norman?
Yeah, Nick, I think Oklahoma's looked really good so far. The passing game has been phenomenal. The defense has looked really good. They've allowed 11 points in the last two games. Only those shut out Arkansas State, 11 points versus SMU. And I think this team is looking really good, except they haven't really gotten all of their weapons and their huge stable of running backs unleashed. There's four guys in that room who are looking really good, and only one of them really. I think Walker's the main guy who's been getting most of the touches. And the team, they want to get these guys involved. Let's get into the article and then we'll kind of talk about it on the other side. This is from over on 24/7 Sports. It says Oklahoma's rushing attack hasn't been what many expected through the first two games of the season, at least from a personnel standpoint. Second-year running backs Javonte Barnes and Gavin Sawchuk have had a decreased role in Oklahoma's wins against Arkansas State and SMU, combining for 16 carries and 55 rushing yards. From the Sooners to this point, they were saying, I do like the fact that we have four guys talking about in the running back room. Oklahoma offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby said Monday, we have four guys who are incredibly capable. We have four guys who have incredible trust with the entire staff, and I think they can play at any given time. The stress, I think, is being able to get 2 Barnes and 27 Sawchuk going as they work themselves into being in a really good position. So, Nick, it sounds like this staff, they're really getting up to speed. They want to get Sawchuk and Barnes involved in the offense. And they said they've kind of slow played things with the duo at this point, but they're looking to get this 1-2 punch back on the field. So I think this is going to be really exciting for Oklahoma. Get this running game absolutely juiced. Get these two guys on the field to back up a guy like Walker and get a good rotation going forward. But Nick, what do you think about this plan of the running attack by Oklahoma, and how do you think this is going to affect them going forward?
I think it's been really smart what they're doing. And look, I don't know how deliberate it is, but I tell you what, it makes a lot of sense to me, especially when you consider who the Oklahoma Sooners running back coach, and that is former Dallas Cowboy, obviously former Oklahoma Sooner, DeMarco Murray. For those of you who maybe aren't familiar, DeMarco Murray with his run with the Dallas Cowboys had a great 2-3 year run where he was an offensive player of the year kind of candidate. Like they basically ran him into the ground in Dallas. He was the one running back, the only running back. They did not do running back by committee. He was the guy, and that just drastically shorted his career in terms of the NFL, and really actually limited the back half of Tony Romo's career with the Dallas Cowboys because they were forced to shift off to different running backs. Romo ended up getting hurt as they had to throw the ball more, and they eventually had to shift into what the Cowboys are today. DeMarco Murray understands that because he lived that experience. He understands that running back by committee is the way you win at the highest level. This isn't 1984 anymore when you have Herschel Walker and you give him the ball 35 times a game. That's not how you win and compete at the highest level of college football. And I love the fact that early on in the season, he's giving, my opinion, the less talented in terms of raw talent backs the carries and let the guys with more athletic gifts slowly work their way into rotation. I think that's smart for two reasons. One, you want to make sure these young guys that have all the talent, you want to make sure they earn it, right? You don't want to make sure it gets handed to them. But two, you want to make sure they have tread on the tires late in the season. You want to make sure when it comes down to the final stretch of maybe making it to the Big 12 championship game, which, by the way, I think they'll be there. You want to make sure these guys are healthy and fresh and have a lot of energy. A lot of teams early in the season, they fall in this temptation of, hey, we got to give our best running back 30 carries right out the gate. That's what we have to do to really start strong and make sure we fly up the rankings. That doesn't work. That's why some teams start strong and fade fast. I love the fact that Oklahoma has essentially been slow playing their running backs in terms of the players they're running out there. And by the second half of the season, we're going to see guys with a lot of energy, a guy with a lot of tread on the tires, and their best athletes all at the same time. That'll make this Oklahoma Sooners offense a whole lot better when it really matters down the stretch, whether it's DeMarco Murray, whether it's the offensive coordinator, whether it's everybody. I'm sure all these coaches working together to figure this out. I think it's a great move what they're doing in Norman here.
Yeah, Nick, I like the idea. I like getting Walker and Majors involved early, and now coming into the third week of the season, getting the Barnes, getting the Sawchuck spun up a little bit. These guys with all this talent, work them in this week a little bit, work them in again a little bit more the following week, and have these guys raring and ready to go for the big test of the season against Texas. Have them all the way implemented at that time. So then we can let these guys get unleashed because they look very promising last season. But these guys can come out against a tough Texas team who just beat Alabama. You're going to need all horses firing at that point in time. Have all the running backs possible. You can really, really pound the rock at that point and tire down a Texas team. So, Nick, I think that is really good. They're going to have incredible ball control when they have all four of these running backs running the ball at any given time. They're all going to be fresh, ready to go anytime they enter the game. So, like you said, DeMarco Murray knows what he's doing. He knows the game plan. He knows the effects of just having one guy carry the ball for I think over 400 something touches.
Yeah.
It was an insane amount of touches. It really wears someone out. So, I love the game plan by the Sooners and DeMarco Murray. And I'm excited to see, especially what this group of four horsemen maybe, can do against a strong Texas team.